Leo, sun, moon, or rising. Welcome to your Pluto in Aquarius 20-year forecast. This video, I will be going through some of the transits in this first year as well. So stick with me as I break it all down for you. Welcome, beloved souls. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Vivia, and this is my channel, Your Soul as Well, where I use astrology to help us navigate our shifting and exciting and sometimes turbulent world. I want to remind everybody, like the content I'm creating and you want me to create more content for you, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and remember to hit the notification bell because I am uploading regularly and I would not want you to miss an upload. Leo, you are in for massive transformation when it comes to your personal relationships. Wherever Pluto is in our charts, it's where there is a death and a rebirth occurring. And for you, Leo rising, it's in your 7th house of your intimate and personal relationships and partnerships. So expect massive change in this area. There will be important relationships for you that will help facilitate transformation within you and a catalyst for deep and profound transformation. Your 7th house is all about the other. It could be your personal intimate relationships if you have a long-term partner or a marriage. It could be business partners as well. It's also the marketplace if you are in business and you sell your wares, whether it's a storefront or even the relationship with the public in general, is also found here in the 7th house. So as Pluto is going through, it's deconstructing to reconstruct, and that's for the purpose of greater empowerment. Really, that's what Pluto wants for us. It wants our empowerment. It wants us to step up onto the higher timeline to serve our higher good. And when Pluto goes through the 7th house, it's really about showing up more authentically in relationship. So this will be shifting and tweaking you and changing how you show up to other people and your relationship to them, as well as theirs to yours. Pluto is deep, very transformative, intense. It has this very intense quality to it. So right here in your 7th house, it's going to bring these qualities to your 7th house and to these relationships. You will find that over time, you will be called to deeper, more meaningful connections with others that have more of an intense flavor to them. This might be new for you, depending on your own relationship with Pluto, where it is in your chart. This might be a new thing and something to get accustomed to, but just be prepared to foster this more in-depth and soulful connection with those intimate and personal relationships that you have. It will have you redefining your relationships. It's going to encourage you to redefine what intimacy and relationship mean to you, and even commitment. Some of you might find yourself supporting non-traditional views and attitudes towards relationship, given that this is the Aquarian house. And it's very innovative and future thinking and nonconformist. But Pluto it's the planet of attraction, and so it magnetizes to you. So it will have you attracting partners and relationships, contracts, businesses, all sorts of things, business contracts based on mutual respect, independence, and freedom, and have you moving away from codependency. It will have you looking at any codependent issues and any issues with control and manipulation, because those are also the qualities that Pluto embodies and brings to us. Pluto will bring to you transformation through your personal relationships, transformation of self and transformation of the relationship. Pluto will help you with healing from past traumas or abuse from relationships, or just bad relationships, or just relationships you have to move on from. Pluto, although very destructive, is also about rebirth, and that's all about the regeneration process and the re-enlivening and rebirth of you. And in this particular instance, through the lens of your 7th house and relationship. So Pluto in this house provides this powerful opportunity to heal from anything in the past that was hurtful or that you still feel affects you in your day-to-day dealings in your relationships. It will do this by bringing anything hidden, any hidden tendencies, codependencies, dynamics, thought patterns, attitudes to the surface for your awareness, to you to look at it and to deal with it and to heal it, to move on. Now, if you have sun, moon, rising, or especially the sun in Leo, Pluto is opposing your sun. So you're going to find that it's going to be the deconstruction of self to reconstruct, to rebirth the self. So you will find that parts of your ego may be dying away so that greater parts of you may emerge, so that you can step more fully and authentically and emboldened and empowered on your path. And if you have other placements, I did a whole video on this, Pluto and the planets. You can listen to Pluto and whichever planet, if you have planets in Leo, to listen to what Pluto will do when Pluto comes up on these planets. Now, Pluto, as Pluto is opposing it, that's a very strong force opposing whatever planet is there in Leo. But again, with your sun, it's going to be reshaping how you identify yourself. Pluto here in your 7th house brings a potential for powerful alignment with partnerships of all sorts. They could be, again, intimate relationships, contractual and long-term relationships, perhaps coming into getting married, for example, or it could be a business partnership. So alliances with very powerful and influential people that can help you on your path will be happening with Pluto here in your 7th house, which will lead to life-changing experiences for you. Pluto here in your 7th, it will transform the way you look at relationship and how you approach commitment and what you expect within relationship. Because Pluto is so deep, it's going to be about connecting on a very deep level, deep and personal, soulful level with the other partner, the other that is in front of you. Just know that over the 20 years, there is such potential opening up for you, a huge amount of personal growth for you within relationship. And this is going to be an area of focus for you for the next 20 years, where through it, you will find more authentic and satisfying relationships that will help enrich your life and bring value and purpose to your life. Now, I'd like to share some of the charts with you. Here's the final ingress chart of when Pluto entered Aquarius. And this is the very first Mars opposition that happened on November 2nd of 2024. Here's Pluto opposing Mars here, right? And then the second one is on January 3rd of 2025, Mars again opposing Pluto. Now this time Pluto is here in Aquarius in your 7th house and Mars is here in your 1st house. So reflect back to those 2 dates. Did anything confrontational happen? Perhaps with another person here? Again, all those, a business partner, intimate relationship, long-term relationship here. Just reflect on that because this is going to happen one more time. You can see here, April 27th of 2025, Mars opposes Pluto. So if we can reflect back on what has already happened, then we can get a greater sense of incoming energy and how to deal with it. So if anything was confrontational or aggressive or impulsive, as Mars can be, or forceful or manipulative as Pluto can be, then we can brace ourselves for that energy again and just work with it in a better way, in a more conscious way. That's what the planets want. They want to bring consciousness to our behaviors, to our tendencies, and to show us what is not working. And so just be aware that in a couple months, that's going to happen one more time, and then it won't happen again for another 2 years. This date, January 21st of 2024, the Sun conjuncted Pluto here. Again, reflect back. This is important because it creates what is called a synodic cycle. And so when the Sun comes into contact with Pluto, it's setting off a whole new cycle for Pluto. And for this year, the Sun will go around and every year conjunct here with Pluto. But so this is illuminating something here in your chart, perhaps illuminating something that is under the surface that you cannot see. Perhaps it's something that is controlling you. Perhaps it is another person who is controlling or manipulating you. Perhaps it is just a conscious tendency within yourself that you need to see. It could be any sort of thing. It could be helping to empower you here in your house, your 7th house. This is this archetype as well to help empower you, to help embolden you to stand on your own 2 feet and to be authentic in your relationship, to be authentic in how you show up. On March 30th, Neptune will ingress Aries up here in your 9th house. That's 10 days after the Sun ingresses Aries here. And that is the equinox when the Sun reached the Aries 0 degree point at 0 degrees of Aries. And then on May 25th of 2025, Saturn then will ingress Aries and be at that 0 degree point. This is important because the 0 degrees of Aries point is the point of creation. It's the cardinal point that starts everything off. And it's considered, this is a rebirth for humanity. The earth is being reborn through this point. And you, Leo rising, are being reborn through this point. This point here is your 9th house. So your higher house of knowledge, of inspiration, of faith, of spirituality, of long distance travel. There's many things that fall into this house, but just know that this house here is being rebirthed. And later on, I will do more videos around each of these planets so you can gain greater insight into what will be happening for you as these planets enter this 9th house and trigger this 0 degrees of Aries point. On June 9th of 2025, Jupiter will enter your 12th house of Cancer, where it is exalted. And that's good for you. That's good for all of us because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. And I did a breakdown of this in the nodal video where I explain more about Jupiter in Cancer. Now, this for you is in your 12th house. So it's going to be expanding this area of your chart, but it is in conjuncting here Pluto in your 7th house. And in conjunction is an aspect that has us look at patterns that are held underneath the surface, that are things that are not that conscious to us, things that are not that visible. And Pluto itself deals with things that are underneath the surface and are very unconscious and not visible. So something coming up, it could deal with your ancestry, your family of origin. This house here is this 12th house, issues from your past. It could, and dealing with your relationships. So it could cover a lot of different ground, but just be aware that around this date, things might be surfacing, and it could be information coming in through your dreams, because that is the house of dreams as well. So pay attention to your subconscious, pay attention to your dreams and what is being shown to you to look at. On July 7th of 2025, Uranus will enter Gemini, and that is your 11th house here. It will be there for a while, but as it applies to Pluto, it will be trining Pluto. And on August 13th, it's going to come into a very within 1 degree of trining Pluto. And so this is going to bring in from your 11th house to your 7th house, both social houses for you. It's going to bring in information, right? And remember the Uranus is kind of chaotic and it disrupts things. So it'll be going through this house for a number of years, disrupting your higher house of money, your groups and your networks, but it's trining here. So information coming in here, maybe about your dreams. This is the house of dreams and hopes and our aspirations as well. Coming here to your 7th house or something to do with groups and networks and some type of suddenness. It could be sudden change that will be affecting here your 7th house. Remember too, as Pluto goes through your 7th house, there's going to be a lot of shifts in this house. So relationships that seem solid might completely fall apart, but new relationships will come in. And remember, Pluto doesn't want to take anything down that is working for you. It only wants to deconstruct whatever is not working for you so that you can bring it back to life in a new, more authentic way, because this is your house of Aquarius, which deals with our originality and our uniqueness and our authenticity. On September 1st, Saturn is going to ingress back into Pisces. It's going to retrograde back. And then on October 22nd of this year, both are happening this year, Neptune will then retrograde back into your 8th house of Pisces. So this is just finishing up business here that you have in your 8th house, whatever your other people's resources and things that are hidden. Again, this is a very hidden subconscious house as well. Just finishing anything up here, tying up loose ends before they move on for good into Aries, which will be in February of 2026. This is an interesting day that I'm pointing out. It's on July 18th. There will be many planets at 4 degrees. We have Pluto here in Aquarius at 4 degrees. We have Neptune here in Aries at 4 degrees. We have Uranus here in Gemini at 4 degrees. And then we have Jupiter here in Leo at 4 degrees. We also happen to have the moon very momentarily at 4 degrees. Now, there's a lot of benevolent energy happening here. The moon, Jupiter are in sextile. Jupiter is in sextile to Uranus. Uranus is in sextile to Neptune. Neptune is in sextile to Pluto. There's a grand trine happening between Uranus, Pluto, and the moon, again, momentarily, but it's still there. It will happen roughly 6:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on July 19th. So adjust for your time zone. And also Jupiter and Neptune are making a trine. At this point, however, Jupiter is opposing Pluto. So Jupiter in your 1st house is opposing Pluto in your 7th house. So Jupiter expands and exaggerates whatever it touches. So it's bringing here an opportunity to look at something within self, right? Your 1st house is self, and the other, the house of the other. So again, bringing things up that need to be looked at for the transformation, both of self and this, how it relates here to your 7th house of relationship. So just keep that in mind. And as we get closer to the date, I'll do more around this. I want to go back to this slide here because I want to point out to everybody that between the years of 2026 and 2028, Uranus and Pluto will be in a trine to one another. So that again is just going to bring in, well, lots of change to your 11th house, but instant information available here to you in your 7th house as it applies to your other people in your life. So again, just it could bring in sudden changes, things that are unexpected, and just be aware of that. So I want to reflect now on some of the issues that you might encounter with Pluto transiting through your 7th house. So Pluto is powerful planet. It magnetizes people, situations, opportunities, and also it can magnetize people with ill intentions for you being in your 7th house, people who want control over you or who want to manipulate you, who do not have your best interests at heart. Understand that this is Pluto's shadow side. So you will want to watch for that. Again, breaking any tendencies for codependency or anything that is not on the up and up within your personal relationships will be on the table for you. You will naturally encounter with Pluto being in this house issues of power and control, struggles with the other. So that's going to be something that you will have to navigate through. For many of you, you are entering into a period of complicated relationships. Pluto, again, is very powerful, can bring in a lot of issues to look at, a lot of issues with control and manipulation, as I've said, but also this is going to be about you learning really to deeply trust the other. So there's going to be times of betrayal and times of trust being broken. And this is all leading to your transformation of self through relationships so you can rise to higher ground and walk more empowered with yourself and with the other that is before you. Your self-empowerment will require you to remain open and continue to work on your own self-control within relationship. Aquarius is a sign of detachment and objectivity and of progress. And with Pluto here in your 7th house, there's going to need to be a detached attitude and an open mind towards understanding that you and the other do not necessarily approach problems the same way or have the same point of view about everything. But it's just learning to align on the core values and principles that you both align on and deciding what it is that you really need in your life in order to have a relationship. That will be of tremendous importance to you in this time period. Remember that you might have to practice compromise, obviously stay in integrity. And this will be important because this is the house of legal contracts. So legal issues might come up with broken contracts. So now you're going to have to be the one to stay in integrity and your authenticity to make sure that you're not the one breaking contracts. Some of you with relationship, you might be feeling deep trauma from relationship. In terms of the power struggles and the dynamics between the other, just continue to watch for red flags and remember to always trust your instinct. Now, this is the house of contracts. Pluto is the planet of wealth. So when it's going through your 7th house, you may draw to you very powerful alliances through business contracts or other contracts that will bring great wealth to you. Yes, Pluto's power and wealth through contractual agreements. So Pluto's power may bring riches and wealth to you through contractual agreements. And inviting in powerful and influential people through the house of the 7th is going to be an opportunity for you. This opportunity will present itself through the course of these 20 years. For some of you, it's the potential to attract a very wealthy partner. So just keep that in mind. There's both the higher nature of Pluto as well as the shadow nature. So it's about powerful and influential people that can also help you on your path. So the things that Pluto can do here that will be of benefit to you, remember that Pluto is here for the long haul. So work on your own self-mastery, your discipline within relationship, how you show up in relationship is going to be important because you're really deepening into yourself, into your true authentic self and how you express in relationship. And remember again, if relationships are ending in your life because of Pluto's presence in your 7th house, it means that it's opening up room for you to have the relationship that is more empowering for you and leads you on a higher evolutionary path of self-discovery of personal empowerment and authenticity. All right, Leo, that is my Pluto in Aquarius reading for you. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that I've helped you. If you haven't yet watched your video on the notes, make sure to go watch it because there's lots of information there as well for you. Thank you for being here with me. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because I would not want you to miss an upload. Stay blessed, beloved Leo, and I'll see you on the next video.